Welcome to the Deliverability Deep Dive.
By Mailmodo, and we are your hosts, Jane
and Tom. All right, hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're diving deep into something that's pretty fundamental to the internet, but honestly, it's something most people probably don't think about too much.
Yeah, you're right. We're talking about IP addresses.
Exactly, IP addresses. These strings of numbers, they're kind of like the hidden language of the internet.
But for now, let's maybe just focus on the core function of an IP address. What exactly does an IP address do? Why should we care about these? Well, they seem like random numbers, but I guess they're not.
Well, imagine you're trying to send a letter, but you don't have an address. Completely lost. It's the very foundation of online communication. And each IP address, it has two main parts to it. You've got the network ID and the host ID. So it's kind of like a street address then.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
Think of the network ID as the street name and the host ID as the specific house number. So the network ID tells us which network the device belongs to, like a neighborhood, and the host ID pinpoints the specific device within that network.
Exactly, like finding the right house on that street.
And this whole system, it's absolutely crucial for making sure that all the data flying around the internet actually gets delivered to the right place. Like when you send an email, for example, your email provider uses the recipient's IP address to route that message to their inbox.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. And speaking of email, why is it so important for email marketers to really understand IP addresses? I mean, what's the connection there?
Well, think about it this way. Every email you send out comes from a specific IP address.
And just like, a physical address can have a reputation, you think of a nice neighborhood versus maybe a not so nice neighborhood. Well, IP addresses, they can build up a reputation too.
So what you're saying is, if you're sending emails from an IP address that's known for sending out a lot of spam, that's going to hurt your chances of getting your emails delivered.
Exactly. Email providers like Gmail or Yahoo, they use really sophisticated algorithms to track IP reputations. They look at things like, how many emails are sent from that address, how many bounce back, how many people mark them as spam. And a bad IP reputation, well, that can land your email straight in the spam folder. It doesn't even matter how great your content is.
Oh, God. So it's not just about writing a good email. It's also about sending it from a trustworthy source, having that good IP reputation.
Precise, it's like having a golden ticket to the inbox, basically. And that's why email marketers, they really need to be super careful about their IP reputation. Because if it gets tarnished, it can take a lot of time and effort to repair.
So how can email marketers ensure their IP reputation stays clean? Is it just about avoiding spammy practices, or are there more to it?
Well, it definitely involves good email practices, like making sure you have permission from your subscribers and sending relevant content. But it also involves understanding the different types of IP addresses that are available and how they can affect your email deliverability.
Okay, so that's where it gets interesting. I'm ready to dive into those different types of IP addresses.
Okay, so let's unpack that. There are two main types, shared and dedicated. Shared IPs are like apartment buildings where multiple senders use the same IP address. And just like in an apartment building, if one tenant is, causing problems, it can affect everyone living there. If one sender on a shared IP starts blasting out spam, the reputation of that whole IP address can take a hit.
Oh, so it's kind of like if you have a noisy neighbor who's always throwing parties.
Yeah.
And then the whole building gets noise complaints. Not a good look if you're trying to be a quiet, respectable resident.
Exactly. And that's why some email marketers, particularly those who send out a lot of emails or have brands that are sensitive to this kind of thing, they opt for a dedicated IP address.
So dedicated IP is kind of like it's in your own house, right? You're solely responsible for its upkeep and its reputation.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. With the dedicated IP, your email deliverability really hinges on your own practices. It gives you a lot more control, and it can lead to better deliverability rates, especially if you're really good about maintaining what we call good email hygiene.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. It's been great exploring this topic with you, and hopefully our listeners now have a better understanding of this, essential part of how the internet works. We'll be sure to include some links in the show notes for anyone who wants to learn more.
Yeah. And to all our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.